like I physically like never seen him. Spiritually, may have seen him, but like physically, like I don't see him. So it's like it's difficult to be like trusting that like somebody I can't see is gonna work something out.
It says faith is substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of something not seen. So faith is substantial evidence of yesterday that I survived it. It's me speaking to the evidence of what happened yesterday taking place again tomorrow. I don't know how God is going to wake me up in the morning, but I know that He will. Now, I haven't come to tomorrow, and I know God not to live in yesterday. And He's not in my present because I can't see Him. So He must be in my tomorrow, pulling me forward. So when we're praying, we're not praying for tomorrow, we're praying for yesterday. My prayers today know better from what I learned yesterday to fix it and correct it. Because God is not tied to the time in it, so He can move around it. And so sometimes you have to send God backwards in order to move forward. She said, I've spent all my living on physicians.
Yes.
Now, does that mean that she was one and couldn't cure herself? Or she spent her whole life at the doctor's office and still got no healing? But when she crawled to Him, she was able to walk back. But she had to bleed all the way to Him and then touch Him and then get up and walk back. Touch the hem. We grew up in an age where we had hymnals. I know y'all don't know nothing about that. We grew up in an age where we had hymnals. Well, hymnals had notes on them that you had to follow.
Yeah.
So what she's saying in the text is that our worship in the blood all the way until I follow Him to my healing. And when I get to Him, I know that the Him of what I'm saying will set me free, that I may have crawled here, but I'm going to get up and walk away from here. And notice that she was leaving when He called out to her. So either she's running or she never touched Him. You got to be so in tune with the Spirit that I'm touching them and folk can't see me. That's why folk don't like you, because they don't know how God keeps on blessing you, because they don't ever see no man attached to you.
Right.
There ain't nobody coming to screw you over, and this girl and that girl leaving out the front door or the back door. You ain't hiding nothing, but God just keep on blessing you. I mean, every time they turn around, it confuses them to see you still not die, you still survive, that you still are not sick, that you've been doing you your whole time of doing you, and you still able to look good doing you. Or she was able to run. Now you mean she was struggling to get here on her knees, hands and knees, crawling. She was crawling by herself through a crowded street, right? To get to Him. But she got up and ran away. She ran so fast that he asked the disciples, who touched me? You got to be able to crawl to Him and know that when you touch Him, you leave it and run from it. Everything that stopped me and held me in yesterday, I leave it and run from it. Every sin that would be in my mind that would press against me that I needed to do it and knew that I didn't, I run from it. Every time I would disobey God, heard better, knew I shouldn't have done that, shouldn't have said that, shouldn't have thought that, I shouldn't even dwell there, should have got up from there, I run from it. And she's running and He stops her. She said, it was me. It was me who did it. It was me that was messed up. All that blood, it was me. All that weight, it was me. Everything that was wrong, it was me. You gotta be able to meet Him in a meeting. Not a them. It's not time to talk about them. It's time to be Jay in the day. It's time to meet. He does the cutest thing. He'd be like, maybe. And Jeremiah be like,
what you say, boy?
I said nothing. It's like you gotta be able to meet Him at a meeting. But she does both of them. He does me, and then like, well, what did you need? He said, because you came and just to touch me. It never said she came for a healing. You gotta stop using him like a vending machine. Just come to him because I just want to be with him. Just want to be around him. God, can I just touch you for tonight? Can I worship around you at your feet? You ain't even gotta look at me. Carry on doing what you're doing. Talk to the folk around. Heal everybody else. I just want to be in your presence. And because she came for nothing, asking nothing, just wanted to touch him. She got everything. When you worship with a pure heart, right? When you can worship with a pure heart, it's like, I just want to be there. In real world sense, like, forget the camera, like forget the room and the environment, like the background. It's been so long since I've heard him. And when he started dropping, like visiting, like giving like insight for interpretation, that I could see more out of it. It's like you leave and have an extraterrestrial, a spiritual experience. He's like, I'm not a man, so I won't lie to you. So I'll never be in front of you, but you can only experience God, because it says no man has ever seen the Father. But let's break that for just 1 minute. No man has ever seen the Father. And it says, for I am a spirit, and I love to be worshipped in spirit and in truth. It says, no man, not even the Son, has seen the Father. It says, here's what you need to know. The reason you need faith is because God is not seeable. You'll never see him. But God is to be experienced. So that's why it takes speaking through faith. Because you breathe him. And when you can morph the breath to not be sinful, but to be like saving in your words, that you sing God. So he's like, sing the word. You ain't got to come to the house because I can't see you. Just send it. So I believe God to still be in the room. You know what I mean? That's why you have to ask, because it creates the possibility. But God is not a God of maybe. God is a God of absolutely. So at the beginning of every day, he's like, it was good. Yes, it was good. But the echoes from Genesis to Revelations met in the middle of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It says, Father, he says, light come. It says, Father, Father, why have you forsaken me? So let me turn on the light for you. So let there be. And then he says, into your hands I commend my spirit. It's finished. Jesus said. But God is omni, so he's backwards. He said, it's good. Shh. Every hard day is good. Every struggle, every good and bad, every up and down, every like stress, every application. It's like to my head, Brittany. I know it may not feel good, but it's gonna work out for our good. You know what?